Hello, everyone, and welcome back to those who joined us for our earlier session. Today, we're very privileged to actually have Siti Adiyati today to speak to us about her practice as well as her involvement within the GSRB. Before we begin, I would like to just introduce our moderator for today. A well-known figure in the Indonesian arts and culture scene as an art historian, curator, author, and organizer, Farah Wardani co-authored the book Indonesian Women Artists, The Curtain Opens, and she was also the executive director of the Indonesian Visual Art Archive in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. I believe it was the first. Ms. Wardani is currently assistant director for the Resource Center here at National Gallery, and she manages and develops our archival material collection. For more than 40 years, Siti Adiyati has stood as a prolific figure in contemporary Indonesian art scene. As one of the founding members of the Gerakan Seni Rupa Baru, Indonesian New Art Movement, GSRB, Siti Adiyati has played a pivotal role in the emancipation of art from institutional bureaucracies and establishment of the collective as a pillar of Indonesian contemporary art. Through her multifaceted practice as an artist, writer, educator, and activist, she addresses issues such as social inequality, bureaucratic corruption, and environmental degradation through her work. Please join me in welcoming them. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here. I must say that this is a very precious occasion, and it's a great honor for me to host this talk with one of my heroines in the Indonesian art scene, Ibu Siti Adiyati Subangun. So about Ibu Ati, like the way we call her, she's, as Erica has mentioned, she was one of the main exponents of GSRB, the Indonesian New Art Movement. So I would like to just give a bit of an intro about the GSRB and also its context in the development of art in Indonesia during the New Order era. And some of you probably might not be too familiar with either GSRB or also the context of Indonesian art and the New Order. So GSRB is a groundbreaking art collective. They have a manifesto that was kind of like a game changer, which contribute to the change of aesthetical outlook in the Indonesian art scene in the 1970s, bringing conceptual and postmodernist notions in their art making, reflecting a new generation of Indonesian society in the first decade of the New Order. So the New Order era, which started from 1966 and ended in 1998, was the name of Indonesia's second President Suharto's political and militaristic regime. It came to power after a coup in 1965 that overthrew the Sukarno's government, our first president. And it was also known for conducting the genocide of Communist Party members that took on millions of lives. So after 1965, art, which was an integral medium of the government's nation building and political identity in Sukarno's era, was structurally detached from politics and freedom of expression. And art and media was heavily under surveillance by the military. At the same time, Suharto sold out Indonesia to foreign investments, and the New Order began a set of new development plans, bringing new culture of capitalism and consumerism into society. So during this political climate, GSRB offered new ways of art making and medium of expression that can transcend restrictions from either the existing conventions of modern art at that time, and also the restriction of expression by the New Order regime. Their stance changed Indonesian art scene forever, and Ibu Ati is one of the most prominent members, and she was also one of the trailblazers or pioneers of Indonesian female artists, which were very few. You must imagine that this is like the 1970s, that she was one of the guys and a very influential one, taking on conceptual art and new ways of art practice to as a choice of life, as a way to find liberation as well. She is also a writer, a dancer, a curator when the practice of curating wasn't even defined as such at that time, and continue to devote to art making until now. And this is what she wants to share. So pardon my prolonged introduction. Please, Ibu.
I'm sorry, as my English is very pure and simple. Maybe my friend Farah can explain, give explication.
Your English is very
yes.
good.
Yeah.
So we start from the 1970s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a 1970 era. It's very difficult to, as an artist, very difficult to involve in the artist activities, you know, because at that time I am as a student in the University of Fine Art, so many activities are closed to open. So it means the style before it is
Very limited.
very limited, you know. For material, for example, on the material canvas, on oil on canvas, on pencil, on paper, like this one, and the material is very limited at this moment. Yeah. So for the young artists, want to more open and more liberation. Yeah. So, but in universities cannot do anything. It's open, you know. So, at the first biennale in Jakarta, 1974. Me and some of young artists from Yogyakarta invite to Biennale in the first in Jakarta, and we present the work, the artwork. It's very kids. Every people reject my our artwork, but yeah, the show must go on, yeah. Yeah, because this is expression for the young people. We are not the old people. Yeah, for example, we use with what is it, with wood
board game.
Yeah, and you can play. This is traditional children. So many. What is it? Bulat. So many
pieces.
pieces. Yeah, inside there is some of the
seashells.
Yeah, and you can play by yourself, so by visitors. Yeah, but everybody can touch the artwork. There is no different. There is no different between the visitor and artwork. Yeah, you can touch everything when if the artwork show in this exhibition.
This is the one that you showed at the Biennale?
No, it is after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the Biennale it's more simple than this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is like this one. It is dolanan. It is children toys. You can play also this material, like the shadow play and some of the children's toys. Yeah, you can play
What happened?
you won, yeah, yeah. It is the first exhibition in the GSRB in the 77. So many things from my friend. It is 11 person in the first time in the GSRB. So all is from the, not only the canvas, not only oil on canvas, but anything from the material, everyday life, like chair, like wood, seng, siren, ambulance siren, and yeah, everything and everywhere you can put any place. Yeah, and you make to be art working. It is the first time to demonstrate, to reject the establishment of art before.
Sebentar Bu, ini kenapa ya? May I ask to?
It is
Okay.
it is a footstep.
TV, yeah.
You know, it's the important thing. If it is a sleeper, because every day I work past the pure people live in the pure condition, and they use the sleeper everywhere, everything. They work in house, and they work also in the office. They work onto the what is and the everywhere. There is no a shoe like this one, but with sleeper. Sleeper is everything to can walk anywhere. Yeah, there is no special for the shoes. Yeah, so it is. If the rainy session, the foot is very dirty, and the slipper is the color become the
more murky.
begin yes begin like the like old slipper, you know. Yeah, it is to present the pure people cannot buy the shoes. And yeah, it is a pure at this moment.
You also mentioned about the net. Why
The
you
net,
have
it is symbolize the border. The pure people cannot walk out from the what is it? Kemiskinan. Kemiskinan.
I see. It's like, okay, the net actually symbolizes more like a glass ceiling that the poor, the destitute people cannot break through.
Yeah, like this one.
However,
if the people in the pure condition cannot move and still stay so long time in era Suharto, you know. So minimalize the rich people, but the rich people pressure
the poor people.
Yeah, everywhere pressure with the pure people.
And there's no, in a way that because the work address some kind of like an expression of criticism towards the society and how the new politics of Suharto. But you mentioned that so far you guys can get away with it.
I think we are not critical with the government and the era Suharto, but I want to present there is a reality in this moment. It is very dangerous because more day to day, more to more people live in the low condition. So it's the government and the corruption is always to make up It is not
It's a way
criticism, but
to
to present.
present the reality.
You look, it is your reality.
This work is now exhibited and remade. So I think that we asked you to make a remake of this artwork, and it's presented at the gallery level 4, Southeast Asia Gallery level 4.
Yeah.
So it's really good because lots of people actually already seen this work here, and so it's really good to have you here to share more about the work.
I think at this moment I want it's better for the artist to present the symbolize about the reject the the government or the system. It's the system is very pressure and very repressing with the pure people and the student activity also.
And this now is being part of the exhibition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a symbolize of the pure people, like water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is the
Eceng Gondok.
The ancient Gondok in our country is. It is funny because the first time the government import from South America to give the fish from the river respiration in a good condition, but the water hyacinth in fact grow up and grow very quick, and then the water to be dangerous, So I think it is a symbol like the people in Indonesia, the put people day to day to be more and more in the pure condition, and the flower is the symbolized by the rich people. It is with the rose at the 70. It's very expensive. The reality of a flower, and one flower similar with 1 kilogram rice, So 1 kilogram rice can eat with one family, but for flowers, only one flowers. So it is the big difference about the rich and the rich people.
And the poor.
So it is symbolized with my artwork.
Well, we're very happy to have the work as part of the exhibition here. And it was also exhibited at the Jakarta Biennale.
Yes.
So it was remade for the Jakarta Biennale.
Yes. The original is very little, 1.5 and 2 meters. And time and time, this moment, it to be a moment. Moment is not to come back. And the Biennale, we made more large, 300 meters, very, very large. And here, only 15 meters. But it's very nice here because now, 40 years after, the technology is more better, with light, with so anything is very clear and very clean, But this moment in the original is very dirty,
Can you tell us where did you exhibit this work the first time, and how was it like?
At the first time, and it's
1976.
1976, yeah.
And it was during the exhibition of GSRB, or
there is no visitor look look. There is no komentar, yeah, at this moment, because my friend, we are only 2 women in this group.
You and Nani
Yeah,
Mirna?
yes. My friend, my friend is passed away now. Only still I am here. Yeah, but the man to present the pressure or the reject the politic. So always to present with the pistol and or this is gun and
Macho
yeah,
symbols.
It is macho symbol. Yeah.
Masculine
Yeah,
symbols.
masculine symbol. Yeah, it is interesting for the visitors, but it is very symbolic. It is not too interesting for the visitors at this moment in 17. But now, I don't know. So many people interested with my artwork. Yeah, maybe the world is changed and the impression of the art is changed also. Yes, maybe so many information now, and then many people take the or learn from the book and learn from the HP itself. Yeah. Maybe it's friendly and closely with the problem like this one.
You also shared that you actually already had you already had a family, and you also had your own already had your daughter at that time during GSRB, and so it was and you have prepared also like quite a wealth of sharing with us here of your current work. So Ibu Ati still keep continuously making works in her everyday life. Maybe you can share while I just flip through the.
The first time it's not. It's very difficult, you know. Yes, was born from the court of royal, and then so my family reject my profession and my take fine art in the university, because when I was a child, all women must take the classical dance and song, old song, and what is it? Practical tembang and batik,
batik.
Practical batik, It is typical for women, but it's boring for me because it is everyday life. You must with the traditional dress, and every time you must go to the palace, and like this one is boring for me. So I take the and I take the others, the others habitation in our family, and I take the fine art.
Was it hard? I mean, like how did you convince your family to? To choose art?
Because at the moment as a young artist, I am always reject everything, you know. I don't know. I don't want it, and I want to walk by myself, like this one. So in my family, it's very takut. I'm very scared when I I'm not take to marry. Yeah, and they are surprised. I'm married, and I'm marrying with my husband. After my family present my family, and my my parents, and oh yeah, okay, you can continue to live by yourself. And then as a family, so I'm very limited time to make everything for myself. Yeah, but when my two children were born, but I'm still can do anything by myself. Why not? Yeah, so it is time is very difficult for me to present my daily living and my my everything I want to, yeah. And then, but my husband is very, very open with what I want to, yeah. And for exercise every day, I must do anything every day. But for exercise, for example, maybe in the first time my family live in the small house, and there is no place for studio and so on. And I write and I draw with a small book, and I collect of the exercising like this one every day. You you don't scare about you don't have time, because you only need 10 or 15 minutes to draw something.
And
Yeah.
this is your some of your collection of
Yeah.
journal
It is,
sketches.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is my journal. Yeah, maybe like a diary. Yeah, to make everything. It is like a line. Yeah, you know, only a line. Yeah, it is what is apple. Can you look in the table, for example, and you can you take the paper and draw. It's very simple. Yeah, there is no problem. There is no problem for you guide the family, and you make something for yourself.
And you think that it's very important for you to continue preserving this ritual, or like, because then what do you feel like it, because
Yeah.
it
To exercise the sense, it's an important thing for the artist to understand the circumstances, for understand the other people, and then to speak with the other people, also to collect the knowledge. But each person can have knowledge, you know. I collect the knowledge from the other people, and sometimes I read or I draw. Sometimes you cannot draw with collect the knowledge for the other people, and I read some of the right, yeah. For example, when I come here yesterday, I met with someone, the woman also. She worked here some maybe 3 or years, and I asked for her and how to go back to your house here in Singapore. She very proud. She said, "Oh, my boss picked me in airport, and how about able to go to the NGS to the here to NGS? I tried to MRT or an taxi. It is funny for me. It is the woman from Indonesia is very proud working in the outside, you know. Yeah, but we here, we also we always tried anything like the people live here. It is I'm not to draw the pengalaman experience like this one, so I cannot draw, but I can write about this. It is my memories to collect the knowledge to and after make the artwork. It is a process how to make the artwork.
And you still keeping like all these 10 minutes ritual every day until now?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Because every time we ask Ibu about like the challenges of being a female, you always say that it's no problem.
No problem. I don't think any about I'm as a woman, and the other as a man. There is no idea for me. Yeah, it is the same, woman or man. Yeah, it is only the tubuh apa?
The
Only
body.
the physically, but the spirit and for take the decision, it is same. I'm not dangerous with free. I'm free and I'm not what is it? Scared with other people. The men, for example, it is as a woman. Yeah, as a woman, it is naturally.
Do you think that that art somehow, like working in the art and you choosing to do art, allows you more to be able to get this kind of like freedom or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I mean, it's still the fact that I think that in terms of women artists, like I think that at that time it was still very few. You and Ibu Nani Mirna, the late Ibu Nani Mirna, and then probably up to not until the late 80s or early 90s that we have more women artists. So it was still, even though it's not, you always say that it depends on the person, it's still like quite a great challenge for.
Yeah, maybe, maybe, but me, it's I don't know, because for the fine art there is it's very limited a woman, because there is no a good future, you know. There is no job,
Even for a man.
Yeah, also a woman, So many my friend and women take the to be a salary man, and to be a designer in the factory, and or take take and work in the office. Yeah, there is.
Kerja kantoran.
Yeah, kerja kantoran. Yeah,
Civil servant.
Yeah, salary woman. Yes. Yeah. So very limited, but for me, it's important things to position in the society is very important for me as a woman. It is important things to and for decision to my life by myself.
You also organized the Nuansa Indonesia, the Nuansa exhibition, which was like one of the earliest all-female exhibition.
I'm joined with the female exhibition, special on only Nuansa Indonesia. I want to like to, what is it, and the group, all the women. I don't like it. Yeah, my group is very open and very strong spirit. The women in my countries, that woman is very, it's very calm and it's very dependent with the others. But for me, it is not good for the future, because the woman cannot decision by themselves.
Just curious, can you share with us like how the other artists at the time, which were mostly men, I suppose, and also the art critics. How do mostly?
Oh yeah, mostly.
And like the art critic as well, like curator. I reckon like I remember like Pak Sanento Yuliman was very supportive of the Nuansa exhibition, and also the GSRB. But how the art scene at that time, also like fellow artists, teman-teman seniman lain, supporting or seeing works from you and also other women artists at that time?
Oh, me and the group of GSRB, it is different with the others because this GSRB is. The group is very brutal. It's very critical and very what is
nakal.
Yeah, it's very but not serious. Yeah, not serious. They call me as artist, a liberal artist without a good future.
Without future?
Yeah, without future at that moment. So, for the women like me, they are not see I'm a woman, but it is a group of GSRB. There is no woman or man. It's something different like now. Yeah.
So it was very egalitarian.
Very egalitarian. Yeah. But now I don't know. It is many people and maybe society give a different about between men and women. But for me, it is not important thing because it's important if you have a position and you have a hard work to present in the society.
That's very nice. That was, I think that we had gone through like a really, really amazing, it's very nice of you to share some of your experiences, but I do think like some of the audience might already quite dying to ask you some questions as well. Like I said, this is quite a rare experience.
I think I would like to comment from the Singaporean, because we have a neighbor, a neighbor nation, Singapore and Indonesia. And so Singapore developed very quick, and Indonesia, so many people, so many culture, so many problem, so many others. It's very difficult thing. Yeah, I want to share for you with my pure English, and I want to inform you of what you want to know about us.
We welcome questions or comments from the audience, and if there is anything, like let's say that you guys probably want to clarify or ask more from the previous sharing, please. Yes?
Yes.
Can you share about that period of time, Suharto regime, right?
Yes.
And it was quite a tough period of time where there was a clampdown on communism and a clampdown on social discourse, right?
Yeah.
So, what was your experience at that time, and was it difficult to make your art and make it in a way to make that social commentary, to make that comment about the government, about the pemerintah at that time, the ruling party at the time?
Yeah.
Maybe you could share about that.
Yeah, because before in my country, so many organization, party, so many party, and each party has a group of artists. Yeah, for example, Parti Komunis Indonesia has a group of artists, and Lekra, we call Lekra. Yeah. So you know very well. Yeah, and what is it? Sukar Noise. There is also the group. Yeah, a group. Each party has a group, and the reality. At the exhibition, for example, the group of party to what is it, to bertengkar,
of parties?
conflicting. Conflict. There is a conflict. Yeah, it mean it is not art. Also, it is a political conflict. But art is not pure art, but art is politics. So before, in the Suharto era, conflict it's very deep, and so many things want to cover with art, Yeah, covered with art, yeah. The conflict covered with art.
Maksudnya Ibu jadi konfliknya?
Konfliknya jadi konflik seni gitu. Jadi dari konflik politik menjadi konflik seni.
Itu yang di
sebelum Suharto.
Sebelum Suharto.
Yeah. Before Suharto, conflict of politics to be a conflict of art. Yeah, before. Yeah. In the era,
I think Ibu was referring also like during the Sukarno time,
yes,
especially like with Lekra and Manikebu. It's there's no separation between political conflicts and the debate over art. Like the art and culture, it becomes very embedded in the whole political clashes in the country. That's during Sukarno.
Yeah, during Sukarno. Yeah, but the Orde Baru, it's silent because the art is stopped, and but to change. Yeah, to change, because art must be depend with the government. The government is the army, army sense, army feeling, you know. Yeah, there is no party communist, no independent, no something liberation. No, there is a silence. Yeah, so it.
Being silenced by the
Yeah,
military,
yes.
especially like this.
Yeah, yeah, there is not so. Political is only one politic, depend with government. The others must be die, must be go out. Yeah, it is Suharto era. So 74, there is a riot for Malari. There is a riot from student riot. It is very very important for my history, my political history, because the demonstrate come from the student. Yeah, but this moment, my friend, all my friend, most my friend, told when the people something happen and demonstration, don't go to the hospital, because if you go to the hospital, you cannot out to life, but to die.
The police will hand you to the hospital and kill the demonstrant. Is it what?
Yeah, it is. It's very dangerous in the capital, in Jakarta. But the other city, some of city, the big city is silenced, but Yogyakarta, Bandung, it's very difficult for students. Yeah, because it is university stop with the activity. There is no activity. Yeah, but the same in the same year, I come in the Jakarta, in the Bina, the first Jakarta, and we are tried to open this this stop, everything stop. Yeah, and with the GSRB, but we must strong activity, but silencious, you know. Yeah, there is no what is it?
Promotion? Or?
There is no demonstrate. Yeah, there is no more speak loud about not reject the government, but only make the others style of art, you know. Yeah, like GSRB, you can put anything on the street to be artwork. Yeah. It is my demonstrate. My
your own way of demonstrating.
Yes, like this one. Yeah, it is art of my country. Yeah.
Ibu, you also shared with us yesterday, like there was actually like you guys at GSRB, you didn't actually know much about what happened in the West. Like there's no Western, there's no influence of.
I think no. At 70, it's very limited the information from the outside. Yeah, it's our students very pure with the information from the outside. You know, there is no books. Yeah, books it's very limited. It is an old book, I think.
No internet.
Yeah. no internet, yeah, like this. Yeah.
So you and the GSRB in a way really try to develop your own style and concept from.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. It is a style of local style, like Bohemian, you know. You tried anything by themselves. Yeah, only imagine and only want to communicate with the other people. Because then politics is very not very close to open and to liberation the activities. Yeah, no politics. That's a moment.
So was your group sort of like depressed or were they sort of like controlled or monitored by the government in terms of your art?
Yeah.
Because you were trying to say things through your art, but you can't explain your art. You can't promote your art. You can't tell people what your art is about, right?
Yeah, not what art about, but I only present the visual art. Only this. Everybody only look at the physically, not the meaning, but physically. So it is, I think it's open for the
Interpretation?
yeah, interpretation, yeah, the presentation. But it is funny, you know, it is not clever. The government is not clever.
We don't understand.
Yeah, we can present something. It's different things, but the meaning I keep by myself. I keep by my ourself. You know, so it is to survive at this moment for the artist. You know, yeah.
It's a really tough period of time.
Yes, yeah. It is only cover.
We still welcome for more comments or questions. Yeah, anybody? Jin?
Yes.
Ibu Siti Adiyati, thank you
Yes.
very much for your talk. I'm just very curious about, you mentioned, we talked a lot about women artists and their difficulties. I was just wondering, because you're also such a prolific writer, and also your writings on art, I think they were particularly important. And can you share with us some of the writings that you wrote in that period? What were the topics and who do you write on? I think that would be of interest to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Eugene. Yeah. Besides, as artist, I drawing and I make artwork. I'm also like very much to writing. You know, the writing sometimes I can keep by myself for a long time, and I come out for the others when this situation is better than this moment. Yeah, it is for me. It's important things, and writing is for me is more difficult than I practicing drawing and artwork. For writing, I must learning and I must reading the books, and also to meet somebody to speak anything, and to reflecting also, and yeah, so more do anything than I practical artwork. You know, artwork I can do happy and easy, because yeah, it is my work, you know. But writing it's different things. But it is difficult for me, but I'm tried time to time. Yeah, I collect all my writing into small books.
The one that published by Jakarta
Published
Biennale
by
also.
Biennale in Bahasa.
Yeah, it's titled Dari Kandinsky Sampai Wianta.
Wianta, yes.
And it was your essays on art in various media.
Yeah. And when come today's, I present you also the booklet, a small booklet.
Ibu,
I'm writing like
who
this.
made this booklet specially for this event? So it was,
maybe
again,
maybe
it's our privilege.
Maybe it's better you read my writing, then I speak to explain for you. Yeah,
Both.
Yeah,
we want to have both.
My artwork, I want to my artwork to be everyone happy and everyone thinking about something. Yeah. So it is a symbol, but for me, it's important thing to exercise every day. Yeah. For me, it's important things. What is it? Split to aesthetic and artistic. Aesthetic is something you collect from the others, the outside. For example, the knowledge. To meet with someone or traveling everywhere or learning or writing or reading something. It is to collect knowledge, to aesthetic. But artistic, it is a practical artwork, practical to do anything with my profession, not
Your
profession, my
craft.
way of life. Yeah,
Mm.
With exercise, everything. It is a presentation of the knowledge, presentation of the aesthetic. Art without aesthetic, it is empty of heart, empty of meaning. Yeah, it is my opinion.
And it is what you always believe. It's what you always believe also, like that's why like you keep doing it now, I suppose.
Yeah, so my art is not my profession, but it is my way of life. Yeah, it is important for me because you can choose to the life to be an artist, to be an economist, or to be too political. It is must choose. Yeah, it is the position to decision to your life. So it is my work. Yeah, and some of my work, yeah, you can, yeah. So it is a small part of all my work.
I think we still have at least one more question or comment, if any, before we are being kicked out of this place for the NDP rehearsal. If anyone? No? Okay, I'm just one last question from me. How do you see the art scene nowadays, whether in Indonesia or especially like about women artists? And you said that you feel like your work actually being more appreciated now than before, which I find very interesting. But that's why, how do you see the?
So the woman artist now it's very easy. Yeah, very easy because meditating is present. It's easy to be what they want, to be artist, multimedias or with
with any kind of medium,
kind of object, yeah. So it's very easy. It's my generation. It's not easy because you cannot live by the artist, you know. No money, no chance, yeah, no everything.
no new order government,
No
yeah,
order
trying to
government,
kill you.
yeah. But now, yeah, the artist can express everywhere and collect the money also, yeah. So for my generation, it's very limited, yeah. It's very difficult. Yeah, maybe it's better be married with with it is okay. Yeah, but now many women marry with friend of artists also. Yeah, there's not so far with the everyday life to live together, artists and artists. Yeah. Artists with the other people, it's very difficult to understand each other, maybe. yeah, like this.
Well, we learned so much from you today, and I do believe that it's what you have been sharing us, giving so much to learn and also to inspire one who come here, and also like the next generation. Of art practitioners in Indonesia and Singapore, as I experienced it myself, and we thank you, Ibu, so much, and also for the audience who come here, and we.
And I would like
you would like to say something?
Okay. For the last time, I would. Say thank you for your coming, and I want to present you the long song, the old song. If I study as a child in the long time ago, it is my present for you. For thank you for coming. Okay, it is only a small part of the old song from the 16th century. Yeah, it is. I remember from my child till now. Yeah, so I'm not a singer, but it is. Please do mendengarkan. To listen, ya.
Lagunya di mana?
Saya akan melakukan sendiri.
Yeah, okay.
By myself, yeah, of course. Sigro miler sang gede si nunggu bacur kawan doso kang jageni ing arso miwa ing pungkur tanapi ing kanan kiri sang gede lampahnya alon. Yeah, that's.
Thank you so much. Terima kasih sekali Ibu. It's our greatest pleasure. Thank you so much everyone.
Okay, thank you very much.